Hello everyone, and welcome to another One Piece match. Today we have my friend, who's literally sitting next to me, favorite anime villain, aka villain on the top. On the left side, which is weird because I'm sitting on the left side right now.
He, what's up, guys? You know we're here playing Foxy. First time in paper, giving it a try. I actually think the deck is a little better than I anticipated.
I definitely was putting in work in this matchup because of my leader effect.
Yeah.
But, you know, Utsa's the best deck in the game. So, according to views.
I've seen your channel. Your fans love this deck.
I also love this deck so much that I had to actually buy the alt art.
It's pretty good. That's crazy.
It was $18.
Never see you buying alt arts.
I never buy alt arts, which is the funniest part. I always just get rid of them fast. I believe you won the die roll, and you decided to go second? Or did I win and decide to go first? Either way, this is preferable curve for both, I believe.
Yeah, Foxy plays very similar to just like a generic purple. Like, when you ramp, but you don't really care. You have good curve either way. Like, a lot of your cards feed you Dawn back as well, so minusing doesn't matter that much.
Funny little, like, trivia thing. I've never played this leader before until this match right here. It's the first time I've ever played a Foxy leader.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I have no idea what your cards do.
You'll see it occasionally on the sim, but it's not super popular. It's a big brain deck that crumbles easy.
So yeah, here I did use Nami to search a film Luffy. I think that's actually, like, a really cool, like, interaction that you can do, because now I can just trash it.
Yep.
Because it fits every cost required, and then with the Guild Tesoro you can pull it back up too.
Yeah, I do like that.
It's one of my only, like, double searchable targets in the deck for either engine, and which is why I run it.
Yeah.
And it's recyclable. I think I do it later in this match too, where I actually end up just bringing both back.
I'm pretty sure later in the match you only have 2 Luffys as valid targets for a Tessero.
Which one was searched off of Nami, which is pretty good.
Very cool.
I figured that out myself. No videos on this deck except for mine. Obviously, right?
No way. Crazy. So we're playing down Porsche right now. Gonna look at the top 5, grab a Foxy Pirate card, and then play a 4K or less power. We're gonna grab Pickles, because Pickles is the dude. He's an absolute G.
It's funny that even with that trigger, you're able to still resolve your effect because it puts you on the same.
It's crazy.
That card is actually really good.
Is that a slow beam?
Yes.
I think.
No, wait. Slow beam sword.
Yeah, so that's the one that gives something 2k power and then it rests one of your opponent's characters, which is awesome. Sets you up for, like, doing a Foxy leader play, but it also just ramps you a Dawn for the trigger, which is nice.
So off the Porsche effect, you did play the Chopper, which is funny that they made this a card.
Oh, the Chopper's so good. It's actually just a staple in, like, purple builds now.
Like the Porsche package too always has the Chopper.
It's the best thing. Some people run Big Pan, but a lot of the time it's Chopper, Gina, Porsche. So we'll throw a Pickle down here. I actually didn't realize I was at 6 Dawn when I started this turn, so I didn't think I was going to be able to do leader effect. But we're going to swing in 5 leader effect to freeze his Uda, which is
I totally forgot to take the hit. Oh, then this interaction happened.
Yeah, so we almost misplayed here. Because I have Pickles on field and I have less than or equal Dawn to Jelly, I don't have to KO my Porsche. Pickles is the only thing that can be KO'd right now.
Which I did not know. That was a funny interaction. And I actually have a 5-cost Marco in hand right now that I was like, oh, okay, well then I'll just swing my leader, bring the Porsche down, and pop it. And then I remembered I'm frozen.
Yeah.
I'm slowed.
Very, very cutesy, very demure.
So now I have to, like, figure out what value play I want to make here. I figured that I can't just leave you with bodies for the Foxy effect, so I'm like, I have to clear something. So I end up, I believe, just playing the Marco anyway because I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, I think you still just popped the Chopper.
Oh, you didn't see that.
I actually didn't.
I didn't remember that happened. I do play the Marco because, you know, that's just one less body for your Foxy effect. And I'm like, well, at least I get something. It would have been better to get the Porsche just to get rid of some aggro, but at least I just tear down some defense.
It's always good to just remove bodies against Foxy, since he needs 3 Foxy pirate characters. It's a kind of hard effect to resolve, but it's really good if you get it rolling.
It's definitely worth it, because freezing all my stuff
Yeah.
ends up hurting later on.
It's also, I don't think it comes up in this game, but there are situations where you can restand your leader and then attack a second time and freeze another body.
I remember you telling me about it. I don't know what card does that, but that scares me for my future.
It's like a 3-cost event.
It's an event. Okay, I thought it was a character.
No, unfortunately.
It's like the Kuro event.
It is like the Kuro event, yeah. Oh, there's the second Luffy right
Yep.
there.
So I actually did counter that because I'm coming up on a Guild Tesoro turn, and I want to be able to actually resolve his effect. So I go ahead and counter it because I know if I drop 2 cards, I'm going to get 2 cards back and a body. So the value ends up equaling out.
Yep.
So that's why I went ahead and did that.
So you guys will notice instead of ramping Dawn off of Black Maria, I just ramped
Life.
a
Or a
blocker Queen out of my deck. So we just put it into the middle, not really a big deal. It's not going to come back up. Just a goofy little misplay.
We were talking. There was 3 other people in
Yeah.
the room talking. This is just like a fun game, so we're not that worried about it.
3 other people in the room talking not about One Piece.
No, they were making fun of Uta and then also talking about Smash Bros.
True.
And I was like, you can't just hate Uta. So I swung 7, you also countered 8 there.
Yup.
And this is where I do the Guild Tesoro. It's funny because I didn't use Uta effect because I was like, I'm going to 10 anyway, but I forgot about Guild Tesoro's effect to minus a Dawn and get him back. So it was actually a slight misplay there that I'm going to 9 instead of 10 next turn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I didn't think, because I haven't played this deck in forever. So it was actually a slight misplay because now I go to 9, but if I could have gone to 10, I could have dropped the Shanks earlier to clear this Porsche.
Right.
And that was the original plan before the Guild Tesoro went down. So in the future, I just got to ramp, well, think my whole turn through and ramp anyway.
Yep.
I think I only had 1 10-cost Shanks in hand, or no, I had 2 10-costs.
How are you gonna ramp?
I discard a swing.
You couldn't swing. You're locked.
No, you didn't lock me last turn because you only had these 2.
Oh, yeah, right.
So you didn't lock me. That's why I missed my chance to ramp.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I had 2 10-cost Shanks in hand, and I was like, I can just get rid of 1 because there's no way I'm going to play 2. Which, you know, is pretty, like, normal to not be able to play 2 10-costs before the end of a game, especially when you're playing 4 life leaders, and you're not swinging these guys because you need to keep the bodies.
Yep.
Right? So I'm like, well, I have 2 10-cost Shanks, and I had a Buena Festa I just saw.
Yep.
So, like, I could have ramped there to go to 10 this turn, but instead, because of that slight misplay, I end up not being able to. Hello, Kitty.
So right here, we're kind of just denoting things that don't become active, and I froze the Tessero, or I made it where Tessero couldn't attack with the Capote.
Yeah, Capote froze, Guild Tesoro, not freeze, but unattackable.
Stuns. Yeah, there's not really a good turn for it, or
And then
term for it.
the other 2 became unrestable, or unrefreshable.
Yes. Why don't we call it awakening?
Dragon Ball Z has that term.
Oh, of course.
Yes, their term is when they're at 0 life. It's called an awakening.
Yeah, where you like flip the leader over.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's probably why.
So I know obviously the Tessero is like a searchable film type card. That's why you would play it. Have you thought about playing the 4-cost Khalifa instead, though? Not the 2K counter, the new one from EVO1.
Oh.
It grabs any 4-cost back.
So I was thinking about doing that, but I just want him to be searchable.
That's fair.
It's literally, and he's also, I can trash him for my effect.
Yeah. When I said searchable, I was including mentally.
Yeah.
Also counting that in, that he's like trashable.
Trashable. That's the main thing. So I figured with this deck, like, you want to be able to resolve the effect as much as possible. And sometimes you just run out of film cards, especially since I'm running 2 engines, which is why I went with the Straw Hat engine to get the film Straw Hats.
I wish we just had a better purple engine for film. It's very mediocre. It's really only the structure deck. So we do throw down the 7-cost Foxy,
Big
our
body.
champion. We're going to start trying to get a little bit aggressive, but the issue with Foxy and needing 3 Foxy characters
It's
is
hard to swing.
you don't often put swings in with characters, which is very,
Because you want to
very
keep your
upsetting.
characters.
Yes.
So you did go 5, and I countered 1. Again, that's the value. I get to reuse these Luffys, right?
Yep.
pretty nice. Another 5k swing in. I believe I just start countering everything because I have no plays.
Yep.
So I countered this too, even though it's a 2k, and then I'm going to go ahead and counter this with a 2k as well. I tried to keep it the Sanji in case I do need the pressure, but I just got rid of him. It's whatever. I do draw, and the reason why I do go ahead and counter everything, because my next turns are just 10-drop turns,
Yep.
and I don't need cards in hand, I just need to clear. So here we do still have the Uta leader and Marco frozen, unawakened, but yeah, I do drop the Shanks.
Yep.
I do end up dropping it, just kill the Foxy. Now you're out of cards, out of the range for your leader effect, which was kind of my goal, and then going 2k over with the 4k, 6k body. I figured you would try to save the Porsche because you need as many bodies as possible. Something I didn't mention, I just ignore the Black Maria this entire game.
It's fine.
It's good that you have it, but the problem is, like, I am not worried about you ramping in this matchup.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean when I say it's fine. It's a very good card. It doesn't promote anything crazy in my deck against you.
Yeah.
Specifically. So we're just going to throw down a Reiju here.
Try to refill a little bit.
Yeah, I'm doing not so great on cards in hand. Unfortunately, this is not my deck list that I would traditionally be running. I have, really the only difference is I should be running 4 Black Marias, but I'm running 7 cost Kid because I just forgot one of my Black Marias at home. So we're able to reestablish the bodies.
The funny part is, you actually were using one of my Black Marias, and I needed it for my deck too.
I actually forgot 2 of my Black Marias at home, and Jelly was kind enough to let me borrow one of his.
I took them out of this deck. Well, I didn't even put them in yet, so I was like, I'm just not gonna mess with it. They're supposed to be in this deck, but they're not gonna be for this.
So me playing Black Maria was less about like thinking of doing something crazy and more just about catching up with you if you ramp.
But you didn't let me ramp.
Yeah. Kind of a catch-22, I guess.
So now it's coming down to the final turns here. We are, you swung everything. I countered everything to just keep 1 life by the end of it, just that way I could possibly live. I got all these swings though, so and you don't have many cards in hand.
No, I'm actually, after taking this life, I'm at 3.
Yeah.
I'm down to 2.
You do 2k counter out of the 6. You do block with the chopper on the 12, which I kind of figured was going to happen, and now I have to make the decision of the game. So this decides who wins, and I have to take the gamble.
This is, absolutely the trickiest part right now, and it's really when that 7-cost Kid comes back to bite me in the ass.
So here I have to decide on the 10-drop Luffy. Since I already committed all my swings, I can't kill the Porsche. Killing the Porsche would have put me in a better situation. But I was really just hoping to go for a game, and I'm not gonna lie, I did forget about the chopper.
It happens.
So I forgot that he was a blocker, and I was like, I'll just take the last swing, and then I'll drop this 10-drop, and then I forgot about the blocker. So when I swung the 12, I was like, oh shoot. I guess that's fine. So now I have to take the gamble, right? So what I can do here is I can drop the 10-drop Luffy. Pretty easy, right? You have 2 cards in hand, which means I have to swing 9 to guarantee the swing. Problem is, if I drop 10-drop, I'm only going to be able to swing 7. So I'm risking you... I'm putting you on either having no counter or just a 1k or a 2k. Like, just a 2k, no counter. That's what I'm risking here, and it's the only play that I have, or I lose next turn because of the amount of bodies. So I do trash that Luffy because I have to trash one to play the Luffy. Activate the effect, bottom deck the rest, get rid of all the Don, and now we're here. I don't get to use the Uta effect to go to 3, but it's whatever. So I pass my turn, draw 2, and I'm like, well, it's do or die, right? I go 7 in, you take it, and I'm like, well, that has to be game. And there it was. And
so you'll see I have a Bond Clay and a Chopper, and then I have that 1 of 7-cost Kid, which is supposed to be a Black Maria. But when you forget your cards at home, you don't deserve to win.
Yeah, so it could have any one more counter before the Luffy swing. Really just decided the game. And I almost did the misplay of trying to guarantee the life with the Luffy and then swinging the Uta for 7, but then I was like, no, I have a better chance going this way. Because last time I misplayed my Don count on you, during that Enel game
Oh yeah.
ruined everything.
Yep.
So I was like, I have to be more careful with how I swing. But this was the only route that I had because Luffy could do it on his own, and Uta could only do 7.
Yeah, heads up for anyone who is looking to like pick up Foxy or play it for fun. You only freeze the character until the end of your opponent's next turn. So 10 drop Gear 5th Luffy will restand it in the extra turn.
I actually asked you like to confirm that
Yep.
before. I was like, because I have 2 10 drops. There's only one route, and then my other route was use Nami to search the top, and then we went ahead and looked, and I believe
There was a rad beam.
there was just a rad beam, but I don't know if a rad beam. Yeah, there's the rad beam. I'm actually pointing at it right there. That's the only searchable target that I had. The problem is that puts me with. I think my last life was a Robin, so that gives me 5k counter with no blockers.
Yep.
I would have been able to. No, I wouldn't have been able to pop a body. So like it really just.
And I might not have been at 10 Dawn, but I think I was. I was very close because I had the Black Maria on field, so it would have been very easy for me to...
You're at 9 here.
1 under leader.
10, so 10.
So it would have been really easy for me to swing maybe like 7 with Reiju, swing 7 with Foxy, and then go 8 with Black Maria, and that would have been very like comfortable numbers for me.
You
to
and
push
you would have
for a
known about
game.
the rad beam.
Yeah, exactly. I
You
would have
would've
known
known.
the rad beam was there.
So you would have
So
had
I
to play through
could've-
rad beam and 2 cards.
Exactly, which is very easy to do. That's a 7, a 7.
Yep.
Well, that could actually just be a 9, a 7, and then whatever the other one equates out to being.
Yeah. The only way I could have survived is if you somehow misplayed it.
Yep.
But I mean, it's kind of hard not to when you have 3 to possibly 4 swings.
Yep.
And
Oh, I
only
forgot.
2,
I
like-
did have the Porsche on field
Yep.
still. So yeah, it would have been easy enough to just go 4, 7, 7, and that would have been the game.
Yeah.
It was a really good game, though. Very fun. Showed up for Foxy way harder than I thought it was going to. Very fun matchup.
You just went against the best red purple leader, so
I couldn't overcome it, dog. You have that protagonist power.
it's funny. But if you guys like, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and go check out Villain's channel. I'll put it in the title like I usually do.
As always.
Yep. And yeah, guys, have a good one. Peace.
She.